Listen to me.
CFB Nation, you guys already know what it is. I'm with Nino, a.k.a. the Mayor. I'm the governor of college football, as always. We're going to talk about the San Jose State and USC game, 8 p.m. That game is on. Don't pay attention to the logo. That game is on Pac-12 Network. Nino, what are some of your expectations for this?
Oh, hopefully a lot of points. Let's see what happens. I think, the Trojans have made strides on defense to get players to try to fix the problem because they still got their head spinning from, that guy Tajay Spears and Tulane and that Cotton Bowl experience. But I don't know if those guys are ready to go. I know Mason Cobb will probably be starting at linebacker for them, but I hear Bear Alexander is backup to Bars right now. So I don't know if his impact would be huge right off the rip. So I'm thinking my guy, Kareem Robinson, San Jose State, Spines might have a good game. He had 750 yards and almost 200 yards receiving last year. So I think he could be a dude.
If I'm a SC fan, what I want to see, and I want to see it from day one, is them play some defense. That's what I want to see because we see them give up 45-plus points 3 of the last 4 games last season. And we seen, like you said, Tajay Spears go to work. But that Utah win, it wasn't that they won. It was how they won, the physicality. And you and I talked about Utah's physicality throughout the duration of the season, that we feel like they got the physicalness of more like of a SEC team than they do of a Pac-12 team. They really burn the pain. So do you think this defense can be marginally better this upcoming season?
I don't know. They lost, Mekhi Blackman was a good secondary piece for them last year. He moved on to the NFL. They're going to need to put pressure. Obviously, they're going to have points on the board because Caleb's going to allow them to play however they want on defense because they're going to score most drives, whether it be 7-3. So, yeah, I think they'll be able to play their defensive style against San Jose State. Now, going forward in the season, I'm not sure. I do think Mason Cobb will be a big factor in that linebacker call. I think he'll be like, the green dot wearer for them, where he'll be calling out the plays, letting people, calling out audibles and all that going on. And he's a tackle machine. He had like 90-something tackles for Oklahoma State last year. So I'm a fan of his. I wanted to see Bear, but I don't know how much of Bear we're going to see right away, maybe in mid-season. We'll see what happens. So I think they can stop him. I don't know if they can, totally eliminate the Spawns. I think in the first half they'll probably put up some points, and then I think, the Trojans will pull away.
That's the interesting thing is, a shout out to D now, our media relations guy, Mr. Get It Done. He's in the chat. If you look at this USC schedule, so they got San Jose State week 1 today. I'm sorry, week 0 today.
Week 0.
Next week they got Nevada. The week after that they got Stanford. Then they go on a bye. Then they got Arizona State, Colorado, Arizona. After that, they have Notre Dame, Utah, Cal, Washington, Oregon, UCLA.
That's the run.
Yeah.
Murderer's Row. Murderer's Row.
Yeah, so if they're going to have a chance to make the college football playoff, they got to play some teams. They got to play Bo Nix. You see what I'm saying? Did UCLA ever announce who's starting quarterback for them?
Not yet. Just like Alabama.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. They got to play Michael Penix. We seen Notre Dame today. We seen Sam Hartman put on the show today. I seen their ability to run a rock today. Coach Freeman looked like he's got the defense together. I know people going to say it's just Navy. It's just Navy. That run is hard to stop. Yes. I don't care how difficult. I don't care who you're playing. To stop that type of run that you're going to see once a year is difficult to stop. So let's move along. Let's talk about the San Jose State side. In order for them to keep this game competitive, in order for them to somehow not lose by 31 points because they're 31-point underdogs, what are some of the keys to victory?
I told you before, it's going to be Kyrie Robinson.
Yeah.
You get him the ball in space, get him the ball, rushing. He's a small, compact guy. He can get in and out of holes. He got good cut ability. He's somewhat twitchy, not crazy, but like I said, he's got pass catching capability. He's got playmaking. He just does it. Had, like I said, 20-something receptions last year, close to 200 yards, almost 800 yards rushing. And that was turned it on late in the year. There was a couple games we had back-to-back 20 attempts. So I think he can be a dude for them this year. My problem is can San Jose stop the physicality I think that USC is going to bring in this game. Like I mentioned to you in the green room, the running back of last year, Malik Brown, everybody had Google Gaga over. now lined up as the fourth slot receiver behind Mario Williams, Taj Washington, Sky Branch as well. So I think they're going to pound it early in this game. Austin Jones and Marshawn Lloyd, who comes over from South Carolina, who really hasn't really popped. Like, there was a lot of hype about him coming out of high school. I think they're going to take this big guy's, bang him up and let Jones come in behind him. And I think the first half could be a ground and pound for USC and wear him down. And I don't know if San Jose State has enough pop on the defensive side of the ball, with Parnum, Pollard, Tago, Lavo, and Smith. I don't know if they can put enough pressure or enough, wear and tear on him. Then Caleb comes in and does what he can do. That's the thing, is like, people get Caleb's as mobile as it gets. Like, that's when he's in his prime right there. So it's like, now you're running the ball, opening up lanes, letting Caleb loose. That's why I think first half, maybe they keep, if they're not scoring or keeping it close, it's going to be real ugly in the second half. And I don't know if San Jose can stay in that spread. What is it, 30?
Yeah, it's 31. San Jose, they were fourth. San Jose State was fourth in the Mountain West Conference last year, averaging 27.4 games. Do you think that's something that they can up that number this year?
This year maybe. This year maybe. I just don't know in this game. Like I said, I feel like they're going to wear them down, running the ball early, beat them up, and then just air attack them and wear them. There's so many options. Like, for me, I want all the shares of Brendan Rice. That's what I want them all. Okay, I know there's a lot of flashy names there. Singer's the guy, right? But we've seen what he could do. He's a big guy out there mossing people. Can they stop him? And if they can't stop him, who else can they stop? But there's just so many weapons. Branch, Lemon, they're going to get time, especially if it's like 2-3 touchdowns or 3 scores, separation late. Can San Jose keep it close? Will Robinson be a factor when, the game's out of reach or they're pulling away or can, I know this guy's mobile too, Siobhan Cadero. He was a mobile QB, and he gets loose on the ground. But are they going to even have that effect? Or are they just going to stack the box and make him throw? We'll have to see what happens. But I just think USC is going to wear him down. I don't think there's going to be any spot the juice in the end for San Jose State.
So when we talk about Caleb Williams, we talk about the Heisman impact, and we know we haven't had a player win back-to-back Heisman since the 70s with Ohio State running back Archie Griffin. Do you think he can do it this year? I know Tebow, in my opinion, had a chance. Lamar kind of had a chance. He didn't get it done. What are some of the other players you think that had a chance to do it, but for some reason things just didn't pan out?
Those guys you named are probably more especially the last two that in recent years. I don't really know of many. Like Adrian Peterson, but I don't know if he had, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really sure if he had a chance, but like, I think Caleb has the best chance probably ever.
I think so too.
Gentleman who had, like, besides the one who had, they're lined up. They have so many weapons on the offensive side, so many young weapons that they can feature early and often. If they start clicking, now it's just like a Swiss Army knife all over the place. If that defense can improve on rush shots allowed and late stupid points, because that's what kills them. Is in the end they get lackadaisical, and then these teams are putting up points and they're close in games that they shouldn't even be close in. If they can right that ship even a smidgen, he's just gonna do his thing. That they brought in 3 transfers in the offensive line to keep him upright. I can't see them
coming in and producing immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't see him getting much pressure to him, and if they do, he knows how to get out of the pocket. Like I said, his mobility is the next factor for him alone.
Yeah.
So
it's top tier.
He does, and I hate the comparison, but he does stupid things like Pat Mahomes with the no-look passes, falling away. Shouldn't have made that throw across his body. Did. It was a catch, and it ended up being like a huge 30-yard play downfield, puts him in, the red zone or something. Like, he does that. There's not many guys that can do that.
So, I've been seeing a lot of things. One, I want to ask you about Mario Williams before we go, but I'm going to ask you this question, then we'll talk about that's why I'm going to say that question. I've been watching a lot of college football. Typically, I try to keep it CFB Nation oriented, only because I know the work that goes in behind these scenes. I know what these documents look like. I know how crazy and insane we are, the amount of magazines and all that stuff we have. But I've been seeing things such as Caleb Williams shouldn't be the first quarterback taken in the draft. It should be Drake May. Some people are saying J.J. McCarthy, if he has the season that they believe he's going to have, he could probably be the first quarterback taken off the board. Can you address some of this, please? And why are we overlooking the Bo Nixes of the world and the Michael Penixes Jr. of the world as well?
You asking me about the two guys that I think are gonna be in this race at the end, and I just don't understand the JJ McCarthy hype. Okay, I can understand the Quinn Ewers possibility, right? Because the lineup over there is loaded. The kids come in with all the talent. And JJ McCarthy, they gave him the keys to the ship last year. What happened? They became a two-headed running team, correct?
Yeah.
These guys are possibly in the running for every Russian award possible. And they're going to be top 3 running back probably in this draft. What, are they going to stop running the ball to make J.J. McCarthy the Heisman guy? How are you going to make the Heisman by handing the ball off 35 times a game?
Especially when, we know what Harbaugh likes to do. He likes to have a run-pass balance, but really, if you look at the last 2 years, it hasn't been that 50-50 that he achieves to get to.
Ronnie Bell's gone. That was their guy.
Yeah.
Who's going to step up and be the dude? They produce tight ends, and they'll probably keep it short minimum, but are these dunk and dink passes and maybe him rolling out in some kind of RPO option or him taking QB sneaks going to get him to the Heisman? I cannot see it compared to the other guys out there. I would need to see, 3,000 plus yards, almost 400 rushing yards, and close to 30 to 40 touchdowns total combined. And I can't see that from J.J. McCarthy. I don't even understand why that's even in there. That defense and that line and rushing game is what's going to carry the Wolverines, in my opinion.
I would have to agree. We got a question from the chat. Caleb Williams over 3 passing TDs today.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Moon.
I think it's going to be over 4 total touchdowns.
Over 4 total touchdowns. I like it. So let's talk about Mario Williams. One thing I like to give Nino credit, and I'm not just saying it because he's here, but a lot of things I've seen him in early on. He'll make these early predictions, and sometimes I'm like, what in the hell is Nino talking about? And then I see he end up being correct, like he was with the Nebraska running back situation. Let's talk about Mario Williams. You said early on you feel like he's the odd man out. Do you still feel the same way? Do you think USC will get a lot of production out of him this upcoming season? Because this should be the year for him. He was the number 1 rated slot receiver coming out of high school. This is supposed to be his year, and we haven't seen, I don't think, 1/4 of what I think his potential is.
This is supposed to be his year, right? And he hasn't lived up to the hype. He have 900 total yards receiving in his whole career. He has 1,000 yards receiving his whole career, 1,011. He came in, 4 or 5-star recruit. This kid was supposed to be the dude. Couldn't cut it, Oklahoma. Now he's here. I think he got outplayed last year by Brendan Rice. And I think Dorian Singer's the guy, right? They brought him in to be the guy. So
yes,
everybody's been saying Dorian Singer is wide receiver 1, okay? And the fact that Raleek Brown got moved to this slot route, and they have Taj Washington, who produced last year. He's a senior, right? Zachary Branch is a 5-star receiver. He's coming in with better, credentials coming in out of high school than Mario Williams, and he's twitched up. There's a lot of mouths to feed, right? You got Hudson coming out of Oregon. You got Rice. Deuce Robinson, it's hard for me to say that he's going to, surpass anybody and be the wide receiver 1 there. No, I think expectations are just too high. And maybe he falls to a mid-round pick and he goes to the NFL next year, right? Or whatever it may be, and then performs. But I don't think he's ever going to live up to the hype that he had coming into college, ever.
Yeah, seeing him coming out of Florida, watching him run routes, I thought even at this level he would be able to create separation. What I'm seeing when I'm watching him, I'm like, this isn't the guy that I seen coming out of high school. And of course, we know this is a different level. This is Pac-12 ball. And I know, we love to make fun of the Pac-12 and what happened, but this may be the premier football conference this year, and it'll be the last time that
going out with a bang.
Yeah,
he's USC's like Jalen Hyatt. Right, he's just a big play guy. In the last couple of years, even last year, it was 4 games where he had I think it was 18 plus yards, but he got 3 catches. 4 catches. You know what I mean?
And a couple of them
targeted more than 6 times.
Broken plays.
Are you going to be wide receiver 1? I know Addison was there, but you're going to get targeted more than 6 times in any game last year.
No.
Sorry.
It will be interesting. I am Lever KT, the governor of college football. This is Nino Brown, a.k.a. the mayor. He got his credentials today for Boston College. So everything Boston College football and college football in general, make sure you guys are following Nino Brown at Nino Brown _T2T. We're going to send you guys out to Southern California. Enjoy the game. We will see you all on Monday. Have a good one.